All right, we have our test coming up in our next lesson, lesson 59. It'll be all over chapter 6, other than what we looked at the end of the day yesterday with dimensional analysis. One of the things we got to know our units. So let's go and drill over these together, class. 1 mile?
5,280 feet.
5,280 feet. A peck equals 8 quarts. 1 fluid ounce equals 2 tablespoons. A score equals 20 years. A minute?
60 seconds.
A foot?
12 inches.
A pint?
16
fluid ounces, class. A pint's a pound. The world around you got to know that a pint's a pound. 16 fluid ounces in the pint. Quart, or gallon rather. 4 quarts, sorry. Pint.
2 cups.
2 cups. Millennium.
1,000
years. A year is
About
52 weeks. A leap year. 366 days. A mile could also be
1,760 yards.
1,760 yards. A quart.
2 pints.
2 pints. 4 quarts in a gallon, but 2 pints in the quart. Pound?
16 ounces.
16 ounces. A bushel?
4
4 packs. A century?
100
100 years. Typical year?
365 days.
All right. A week?
7 days.
A yard?
36 inches.
36 inches or
3 feet.
3 feet. A year could also be
12 months.
a decade?
10 years.
A day?
24
A
hours.
ton?
2,000 pounds.
A tablespoon?
3 tablespoons.
3 teaspoons. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. An hour?
60 minutes.
A cup?
8 fluid
8
ounces.
fluid ounces. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 2 cups in a pint. 8 fluid ounces in the cup. And that brings us back around to the first one we did.
5,280 feet.
If there were some of these, you say, yeah, I didn't know that one. Be honest enough with yourself to spend some time studying these tonight. Gotta know them for our test tomorrow. Some other things that we need to know are the metric units. What's our basic metric unit of length, class?
Meter.
The meter. What about the basic unit of capacity?
Liter.
Liter. Basic unit of mass?
Gram.
Gram. And then we can change all those units with different prefixes. The prefix that means 1,000.
Kilo.
Prefix that means 100.
Hecto.
Prefix that means 10.
Deca.
Prefix that means tenth.
Deci.
Prefix that means hundred.
Centi.
And the one that means thousand
Milli.
is milli. So what does deca mean?
10.
10. What does centi mean?
100.
1/100th. What does kilo mean?
1,000.
1,000. What does deci mean?
1/10.
1/10. What does milli mean? 1,000th. And what does hecto mean?
100.
100. So make sure we know the meanings of those different prefixes. Also, we compared U.S. units, U.S. customer units to metric units. Which one's bigger, the meter or the yard? The meter, slightly bigger. Remember I said that a meter stick, like we have over here, is just a nudge over a yard. We've got about 39 inches or so in the meter stick, right? There's your 100 centimeters. But the 36 inches would be the yard. So the yard stick would end here, the meter stick here, just a tiny bit different. Which one's bigger, an ounce or a gram?
Ow.
The ounce, quite a bit bigger, right, Michael?
Yeah, 28.35.
28.35 grams in the ounce. Which is bigger, a pound or a kilogram?
Kilo.
Kilogram. Okay, so a pound only has 16 of those ounces, right? The ounces are bigger than the grams. But there's only 16 of those ounces in a pound. How many of those grams in a kilogram? 1,000, right? Kilogram, 1,000 grams. So the kilogram is going to be quite a bit bigger than the pound. Which is bigger, a quart or a liter? Liter by a tiny bit. By less than the meter is bigger than the yard. Is the liter bigger than the quart? Let's see, which is bigger? Is that all the units we memorized compared to each other? Let me flip back real quick. I feel like I'm forgetting one. So let me make sure I don't forget one. So that would be a bummer. Hey, desist. You get kilogram to pound. We said the kilogram is bigger. Ounce is bigger than the gram. Liter slightly bigger than the quart. Oh, miles and kilometers. Which one's bigger, the mile or kilometer?
Mile.
The mile is bigger than the kilometer. Again, think about it. How many of these yards are in a mile? 1,760. Now, I know the meter's a little bit bigger, but there's only how many meters in a kilometer? There's only 1,000 of those. 1,760 of these is bigger than 1,000 of those. So, good way to remember that. Page 240 in your textbooks. Page 240 in your textbooks. Page 240 in your textbooks. Very bottom of the page, chapter 6, review as we get ready for the test. Number 1 says, what is a customary unit that measures length? And there's actually a lot of units you could give, or several different units you could give here. Give me one customary unit that measures length, Elaine.
Mile.
The mile, another one, Michael.
Foot.
Foot, another one. Inch, another one.
Centimeter.
No, U.S. units, U.S. customary units. We've said mile, we've said foot, we've said inch. There's one more class. Yard. So we've got those 4 units, inches, feet, yards, and miles, if we're going in order of smallest to greatest. What about a unit, a metric unit that measures length? Well, class, we already said the basic unit is the meter, but there's technically 6 other units, right, that we could use, aren't there? Yeah. Any of the prefixes with meter, right? So centimeter, millimeter, decameter, that kind of thing. By the way, how do we abbreviate decimeter, class?
D-A.
Decimeter.
D.
DM, right, is decimeter. Decameter would be D-A-M. And then if we wanted decagram, D-A-G, decigram. So remember, just the D is deci, which means what, class? A tenth. And then the deca, the D-A means deca, class, which means 10, right? So just make sure we keep those straight. Let's look at number 2. Does a bushel measure length, volume, mass, or weight? Which one do you think it measures, Bryson? Sam, help him?
Weight.
No, weights are pounds and ounces and stuff. What about a bushel? Luciana?
Volume.
Volume, or capacity would be another way to say that. Volume or capacity. Specifically for dry measures, right? We don't measure liquids in bushels, but dry measures. Apples, corn, whatever. Gobstoppers, apparently. Anyway. Number 3, the metric system is based on what number, class? 10. 10 between all the different units, which is awfully nice. Which unit of metrics is bigger, the decimeter or the kilometer, Corey? We're just skipping over number 4, going down to number 5. Kilometer is going to be bigger than the decimeter. Which is bigger, the gram or the ounce, class? Ounce, we already answered that one. Letter C, which is bigger, the deciliter or the deciliter? Not Corey, you in the back. Griffin. Deciliter, thank you. Number 6, which unit is customary, class? Mile or kilometer?
Mile.
Which is customary, bushel or liter? Gram or pound? Pound, good. Next page, I want you to do number 7 to 18. Next page, at your seats, do 7 through 18. If it's metric, class, we just got to boink, 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 along with who?
King Henry.
King Henry, let's recite it one more time, class. King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Remember, don't count the letters, count the boinks. Put the decimal where it needs to be, boink the right direction, and boink the right direction on the letter. If it's US, if it's smaller to larger,
Divide.
divide. If it's larger to smaller, multiply. Or, if you happened to understand dimensional analysis in our brief discussion yesterday, you could use that. I wouldn't recommend it. Just larger to smaller. Multiply. Smaller to larger. Divide. Catch seats. 7 to 18. Can't remember a particular unit, go back and look it up. almost finished. And just going up to number 18, 7 to 18, and then stop there for now. Lane's finished. Question?
Is this class cut 5 minutes?
It's whatever the schedule says. Then don't worry about it. If you don't remember, it's because you didn't care enough in the first place. Don't worry about it now. Luciana's finished. Wishing for binoculars, aren't you? Don't worry about it. We'll make sure you get the review. Good, Griffin. Jalen. Finished? Okay. Good, Corey. Just about another minute or so to finish up with Bryson. Kirsten. Yes, ma'am. No. It's always the fourth Thursday of November.
When is Thanksgiving?
Not today. 3 weeks from today. All right, let's take a look at these together. All right, number 7 class, 12 feet equals 144 inches. Number 8, 5 miles equals how many feet, Griffin?
26,400.
Good, 26,400. Number 9, 54 feet. How many yards, Kirsten?
18 yards.
18 yards. Number 10, 560 millimeters. How many meters, Michael?
0.56.
0.56. Number 11, 0.245 meters. How many hectometers, Luciana?
0.00245.
0.00245. 83 kilometers. How many decimeters, Ben?
830,000.
Good, 830,000 decimeters is correct. Number 13, 24 ounces, meaning fluid ounces, equals how many cups, Corey?
30.
3. 12 tablespoons. How many teaspoons, Elaine?
3. Or I didn't mean that. 36.
36 is correct. Number 15, 50 cups. How many pints, Bryson?
This would be wrong too.
Why?
Because
Which is bigger, cup or pint?
it's
Pint. Okay, so we're going from larger to smaller, smaller to larger.
small.
We're going from smaller to larger. We need to divide. How many cups in a pint? 2. So we just divide by 2 and we get what? What's half of 50 cents?
I'm blanking.
25. So the answer is 25 pints. What we should have had there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Get some rest tonight. We don't want to be feeling that way tomorrow. That's for sure. Don't want to feel scattered. Number 16, 765 decaliters. How many centiliters, Jalen?
765,000.
765,000 is correct. Number 17, 5 liters. How many kiloliters? Sam? 0.005. And number 18, 0.35 deciliters. How many hectoliters? Let me go back to Bryson.
0.035.
Close. Kirsten?
0.002. .00035.
Should have had 3 zeros after the point. You did, I just didn't say the third zero. I wondered. .00035 is correct. Anyone 12 for 12? You got them all. Anyone just missed one? Anyone just missed two? Are there any questions on the 1 or 2 we missed? Finish out the section now, 19 to 27. Men finished? Good. Michael finished? Okay. Needs to be still. Okay, Lane. Holding stuff. Good, Sam. Good, Bryson. Yes, sir.
Did you put the stats on the billboard?
Mm-hmm. They're updated from yesterday.
Huh?
The stats from the softball games. They're on the hallway bulletin board. Just a minute or so to be finishing up, and then we'll take a look at these together. Again, looking up the ones you're not sure about. Can't afford to not know them tomorrow. Because it's not just one question you miss when I ask it, then you can't make a conversion. You can't do compound measures, and you can't do word problems. You've got to have these memorized. So, just any of them you're still weak on, figure it out tonight. All right, about 30 more seconds. Most of us finished. All right, pencils down. Well, let's take a look, and we're going to see if we can give it some candy for these last 9 problems. Ben was finished first. Ben, 7 tons, how many pounds?
14,000.
14,000. Next one, 128 ounces, how many pounds?
2,048.
Oh, I think we went the wrong direction.
No.
The ounce is little, the pound is big. Got to divide. Second person was Michael. Michael, did you get 14,000 for number 19?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get on number 20?
8 pounds.
8 pounds is correct. Divide by the 16. Number 21, Michael, we'll stay with you. 12 pounds, how many ounces?
192.
192. Number 22, 0.235 grams, how many centigrams?
23.5 centigrams.
23.5. Good. Number 23. 67 milligrams. How many kilograms?
0.00067.
Good. 4 zeros in there. 0.00067 kilograms. Number 24. 1,180 decagrams. How many hectograms?
1,180. Wait,
That's what they started you with. What was your answer?
118.
He doesn't sound convincing. Let me fact check this over here. Oh, you just rewrote it. Oh, okay, let's see. Third person done was Elaine. Elaine, are you perfect so far?
Yes, sir.
He gave us the answer already. It should be 118 hectograms. He kind of realized his mistake. 25 was 1,400 years. How many centuries?
14.
97 scores. How many years?
1,940.
Good. 1,940 and 900 seconds. How many minutes?
15.
Got them all. Anyone else get them all correct? Just not as fast as Elaine. Anyone just miss one? Anyone just miss one? Anyone just miss two? Questions on the ones we missed? Any questions on the ones we missed? All right. Turn over, if you would, to page 242. We're going to come back to those word problems in a moment, but first, want to make sure we're good to go on the compound units. Overall, we did really well on yesterday's quiz. I feel like we should be good, but let's go and do 34 to 41. 34 to 41. One more time, just making sure we're going to be good with these on the test tomorrow. Michael Finch. If you're finished early, we'll work on some of those dimensional analysis problems, see if you can figure those out. Just got about 2 more minutes to be finishing up these compound measure problems, or mixed measure problems. Just another minute now to be finishing up. All right, let's go and take a look at these together. Pencils down, even if you're not finished with all of them. Number 34, what was your final answer, Jalen?
My final answer was 16 gallons, 3 quarts.
When you added the quarts together, what did you get initially?
No, the quart.
Hmm? What should you have gotten when you added them together?
I should have gotten 16 gallons.
For your final answer, should have been 16 gallons. Yes, initially 14 gallons, 8 quarts. The 8 quarts become 2 more gallons. So just 16 gallons should have been your answer. Looks like maybe you had 11 quarts somehow when you added those together. So maybe 3 times 3 was 9 plus 2 is 11 or something weird like that. So just 3 plus 2 plus 3 is 8. All right, number 35, what did you get for your final answer, Sam?
42 pints and 1 ounce.
I think you just forgot about the 5 pints there at the bottom. Should have been 47 pints, 1 ounce. I think the steps were, I think your initial addition was a little bit off perhaps. You had 45 pints, 33 ounces, and when you added the 2 pints to the 45, you somehow got 42 instead of 47. Let's not make these tomorrow, but I can kind of see your work since you're right down in front of me. 47 pints, 1 fluid ounce. Let's see if we can get on track here with Corey. Number 36, what'd you get?
62 feet, 6 inches.
62 feet, 6 inches is correct. Here we go. Number 37, what did you get? Griffin.
32 tons and 1,000 pounds.
32 tons, 1,000 pounds. How about number 38, what did you get, Ben?
Oh yeah, I didn't finish that.
Didn't finish it. Did you start it?
Yes,
So you borrowed from the 26 pounds to get,
25,
and then you carried that 1 pound over as how many ounces?
16,
Plus the 9 that was already there should have given you
26,
16 plus 9? There
5.
we go, 25 ounces. So just 1 ounce off there. And then we can subtract away our 17 pounds, 14 ounces. So Ben, what's 25 minus 14?
11.
And the 25 minus 7,
I don't know.
15 minus 7?
8.
8, there we go, 8 pounds. There we go. All right, should have those things mastered in 1st and 2nd grade, so make sure we keep those before us. But hey, it's Thursday, we're tired, brain's shut down. You're not the first one in the class to have those moments. Number 39, what did you get for your answer, Luciana?
6 bushels and 2 packs.
6 bushels, 2 packs. How about number 40, what did you get, Kirsten?
8 feet, 7 inches.
8 feet, 7 inches. And number 41, let's go to Michael.
6 cups and 7 fluid ounces.
6 cups, 7 fluid ounces. All right. Anyone 8 for 8? You got them all. Anyone get 6 or 7 right? You only missed 1 or 2 of them. All right, are there any questions on these? Yes, sir.
Number 40.
Yes.
6 times 8. Nah, I just got it. I thought it said 48. That's why I put 6.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, so 68. So we get the 8 feet in there. That's 64 feet. How many leftover feet, Sam?
4.
4. How should those 4 feet be rewritten?
48.
48 inches, which combined with the original 8 inches gives us how many inches now?
56.
56, and that divides by 8 to get the 7 inches there. But yeah, you caught kind of a copy error, I guess, as you were working. You were picturing 48 feet instead of 68 feet. Good. Any other questions? Going to be able to do this on the test tomorrow? All right, flip back now to page 241. I want to end with the word problems here, and let's take a look at number 28. Read to me about Emily, if you would, Elaine.
Emily measured the length of her driveway, and it was 864 inches long. What is the length in feet?
That's a lot of inches. At your seats. How long was Emily's driveway? That's in shoulder, unfortunate. And what'd you get, Elaine?
72 feet.
72 feet. How many had 72 feet for your answer? All we had to do was what, class? By
12.
12. All we had to do was divide by 12. Number 29. Go and read that one for us, if you would. Let's see, Sam.
The distance straight through the Earth from the South Pole to the North Pole is about 7,896 miles. How many yards is this?
All right. By the way, it is further than that if you were to go from one side of the Earth at the equator to the other side. The Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's a little bit squished at the top and bottom. So it's a slightly flattened sphere. Anyway, 7,896 miles from South Pole to North Pole through the Earth. Calculate how many yards that would be at your seats. Got it already, Ben?
No. It's just that. Is there even such thing as a? Is there even? How did she measure her driveway?
With a really long tape measure.
I didn't know they made them that long.
Oh, yeah. I use it out of the PE field to measure stuff. Yeah. Remember softball throw at the field day and stuff? And we get a long tape measure. We measure how far you threw.
Didn't I have the first?
I don't remember. Very possibly. I don't remember. It's written down somewhere.
I had the first place medal for something.
All right. Finding how many yards it is from top of the Earth to bottom of the Earth right through the middle. Not that I recommend trying to go that way. Be a whole lot of yards, isn't it, class?
Yeah.
Because we have thousands of miles, and it takes thousands of yards to make a mile.
I mean,
So we're multiplying thousands times thousands. We're going to be in the millions easily here. Several millions. Luciana's got it. What you got, Luciana?
7,896,960 yards.
Did you multiply by 1,000?
1,760.
Something ain't right. Michael, what you got?
mine is wrong because you said we were in several millions, but I got 1,816,008.
Elaine, what you got?
13,896,960.
That is correct. 13,896,960. And now let's say this. On the test, you want to make sure that when you do your multiplication, you show the multiplication, right? So I can give you some partial credit. I'm going to hang the 0, of course, and just kind of assume that that gets tacked on to the end of the answer. But check your multiplication here. Make sure you're all good to go on that. Don't forget to put the 0 before shifting over, right? And we get, oh goodness gracious, that's a 5. And then 2 zeros, and then the 1, of course, just gives us 6, 9, 8, 7. So we add, there's the 0 that I hung, then a 6, a 9, a 6, a 9, an 8, a 3, and a 1. And I think that's the number you just gave us, is that right?
Yes.
All right, so be careful on that. Number 30, read that one about the dog park, if you would. Griffin.
A dog park has a sidewalk around the outside of the park. If each side of the square park is 30 meters, how long is the sidewalk in millimeters?
Oh, lovely. Okay, so we got a square dog park. Did y'all catch that? It said it's a square. This place for doggies to play. All right? 30 meters on every side. They have a sidewalk that goes around so that people can walk around and walk laps while they watch their doggies play. How many millimeters long is the sidewalk? At your seats. Wow, Ben's got it already. Several people have it already. All right, Ben, what you got?
30,000 millimeters.
We got 30 meters here, 30 more meters here, 30 more meters here, and then another 30 meters here. Now, each side, you're right, is 30,000 millimeters. But that's 30,000 millimeters, and there's how many different lengths there, Ben?
120,000.
There we go, 120,000 millimeters all the way around. How many have that for number 30? All right, number 31. And let's see here, read that, Jalen.
Yeah. A swimming pool can be filled using 340 containers that are 3 quarts each. How many gallons of water are in the pool once it is filled?
I don't know who would ever do it this way, but 3-quart jugs of water. 340 3-quart jugs. Just use a hose, people. Anyway, they dump them all in, the pool is filled. How many gallons? That's the question. At your seats. How many gallons does it take to fill the pool? Rather unrealistic problem, but you know that's not my business. Maybe someone's like, maybe it's a really rich person and they're like, I will only swim in Callaway Blue natural spring water. So they get the big 3-quart bottles and they fill their swimming pool with Callaway Blue.
That's funny.
I don't even pay enough to drink Callaway Blue because I'm cheap. I can't even imagine swimming with. Anyway, whatever.
They could drink while they're swimming.
Well, then once you put your body in it, though, you don't want to drink that.
Aw.
And you're gonna have to keep on refilling
The
it.
germs. Also, I suppose also true there. I was thinking more of their health and well-being, but you're right. All right, Jalen, how many gallons?
1,020 gallons? Not
It's
right.
1,020 quarts. You multiply 340 containers times 3 quarts each. It's 1,020 quarts. But the question is, how many gallons is this? So what do we need to do with that number?
Oh, multiply it by 4.
Wait a second.
Wait,
Which is bigger, quarter gallon?
divide it by 4.
Divided by 4. And to Jalen for redemption. Jalen, what? Hurry up, I can't stall forever.
Sorry. 255.
255 gallons is right. How many had that as well? Like, yeah, we got it before she did. Stop judging. All right, questions on this? All right, what if we said that in the next endurance run coming up on Wednesday, let's suppose that the average number of miles and feet run, let's suppose the average student in the class runs 1 mile and 47 feet. Okay? And but let's suppose that there are 8 people in the class. This is the average distance, and there's 8 people. What's the total distance run at your seats? What's the total distance? Let's make that a 470 feet, so it's a little more roundish number. 1 mile, 470 feet is the total distance, is the average distance run. There's 8 people in the class. What's the total mileage put together? What do we need to do, class?
Multiply.
Multiply by
8.
8. And it works out actually kind of nicely here because the number's kind of small. Really, truly, what you got here, Kirsten? Oh. Bryson?
8 miles, 3,760 feet.
There we go. But, of course, we want to convert, right? How many feet does it take to make a mile, class?
5,200.
So can we convert anything over? No, not in this case. We'll just leave it like that. Let's suppose, though, that we all were to go to the government center for a tour. And we all got on the elevator, and the elevator buzzed because there were too many of us on the elevator. That wouldn't happen with this small class. I happen to know from experience a typical elevator can hold about 23 college-age guys without breaking down. The 24th is the problem. Anyway, but let's suppose the elevator said that our total weight in the class was, oh goodness, let's just say,
280.
let's say 1,740 pounds and 5 ounces. And let's suppose that there are 11 of us. And we want to find the average weight of a student. The average weight of a student. Class, what would we have to do?
Multiply.
Just divide.
Just divide by the 11. Take the total weight, just divide by the 11. I don't think this one's going to work out too good. But if you know the total and you want the average, divide. If you know the average and you want the total, then you multiply. Does that make sense? All right, we'll stop there for sake of time on that. No homework this evening. Okay, so no homework this evening, but do whatever preparation is necessary for you to be ready. To be ready for your test tomorrow. That should not involve throwing metal water bottles at empty chairs, Griffin.
Okay.
It happens.
Not quite sure how that happened, but
I was
anyway.
trying to pick it up.
All right, be ready for your test in our next lesson.